heard that Vishwavasu, the great Gandharva, his mind stupefied with infatuation, fell from his airplane after seeing your daughter playing with a ball on the roof of the palace. For she was indeed beautiful with her tinkling ankle bells and her eyes moving to and fro. So Kardamuni is describing the beauty of Devahuti, and very instructive verse. We see Gandharvas are celestial beings, sub demigods. So even at that level, his mind was stupefied with infatuation and he fell from his airplane. And after seeing the beauty of Devahuti, who happens to be a human being. Right? So we have very, let's say, profound instruction here that people aspire to become demigods. Right? From here they want to go to demigod level. But at demigod level also, by seeing beauty like this, they are falling down again. So whole problem is with the stupefied mind. Right? The whole problem is with the mind. Isn't it? When they are here, they are not satisfied, they want to go there. When they are there also, they are not satisfied. This is dissatisfaction. Otherwise, why he would get agitated like this? And so much so that infatuation is so strong. From his flying airplane, he fell down. Yes, okay, we hear, okay, somebody's heart was burning, somebody got, this thing, but falling down from airplane means it happens to be a little extreme kind of case. So, like people in India, they want to go to America or abroad, that we'll go there and we'll get satisfied. And people there, they want to come to India. They feel that there is some religiosity in India, some spiritual aspect in India. So, from Western world, they want to come to India to become happy, satisfied, peaceful. And people who are here, they want to go there to become happy, satisfied, peaceful. Right? And there are many, every one of us would have come across such people. So, एक बार यहाँ India से निकल जाएंगे, शांति मिलेगी. Right? And there are so many, how fortunate you are that you are in India, wish we could come there, there is so much peace. So, neither people here are satisfied, nor people there are satisfied. And those who exchange places also will not be satisfied. Right? Like earlier there used to be saying, the grass is greener on the other side. Now they've changed it. They have also realized the grass is greener where you water it. Isn't it? If you water grass on your side, it will be greener. If you water grass on that side, it will be greener. So this is what is Gita's instruction also. Isn't it? Arjuna is thinking, I'll change the place. I'll change this battlefield. I'll be satisfied. So Krishna is teaching, no, satisfaction is not in the external. Satisfaction is in the internal. So Krishna is instructing Arjuna on internal. So, very interesting verses there, which we read in Chaitanya Charitamrita also. Bhakti Mukti Siddhi Kami Sakle Ashant. No, Krishna Bhakta Nishkam Ataiva Shant. Actually, it's other Krishna Bhakta Nishkam Ataiva Shant. Bhakti Mukti Siddhi Kami Sakle Ashant. So, this one line summarizes Shanti and Ashanti. What is that keyword? Kami. Kami means desirous. Correct? And what is the second keyword? Nishkam. So, whole satisfaction and dissatisfaction is based on kama or desire. Our entire material existence is on desire. Correct? If had Vishwavasu been desireless of material this thing, he wouldn't have bothered. He wouldn't have get affected by any of these things. But there is a desire. And because there is desire, there is dissatisfaction. That is also true. So, Lord Krishna says this world is Dukhalam, Ashashvatam, full of misery, temporary. And why we are held up in this material world? In 15th chapter he explains that this is a perverted banyan tree. And this perverted banyan tree lies in where we can see this perverted banyan tree? In on a shore of water body. Yes, the reflection comes in the water body. Right. So what does that water body indicate? What is that water body? Say real banyan tree is spiritual world. That reflection banyan tree is material world. But that reflection cannot come without water. If water dries in the lake or pond or wherever the tree is situated, then there is no reflection. So what does that water indicate? Desire. Right? As long as material desire is there, material world is there, material existence is there. And it is nourished by, 15th chapter itself explains, it is nourished by 3 modes. Right? So we have 3 modes, Satogun, Rajogun, Tamogun. So we have desires based on 3 modes. If you are in Satogun, we have Sattvic desires. If you are in Rajogun, we have Rasic desires. If you are in Tamogun, we have Tamasic desires. Nevertheless, all 3 desires, Sattvic, Rasic, Tamasic, are material. They bind us to this material world. They bind us to this material world. And because of these, even a Sattvic person is not satisfied. We see so many cases with dissatisfied. Sattvic means Brahmanas are Sattvic. Even 17th chapter, Prabhupada explains that they are in Sattva Guna who go to impersonal Brahman. Right? Those who attain impersonal Brahman, they are supposed to be in Sattva Guna. But why do they fall down from there if they are supposed to be in Sattva Guna like this? See, the impersonalists are supposed to be situated in the mode of goodness. Right? Impersonalists, they are supposed to be situated in the mode of goodness. And where do they go? They enter the impersonal Brahman. Right? Because they do not ultimately believe in the Supreme Personality of Godhead, imagine that the Vishnu form is just another aspect of impersonal Brahman. Similarly, then imagine that all the demigods are also impersonal and they have taken a form. So finally, they enter into impersonal Brahman. But they fall down from there also. Because after so much of struggle to attain impersonal Brahman, that is their most coveted goal or destination, that we want to merge into Brahman. We want to become supreme. Right? After reaching there also, they are dissatisfied. Then again they come back. Again they fall down. So only satisfaction one can achieve is by taking to the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu or Lord Krishna. Now Bhagavad Gita very nicely explains that in this world which is full of dissatisfaction, it's a Kuntha Loka. Like Vaikuntha is free from anxiety, this world is full of anxiety. Who is satisfied? Who can be happy in this material world? Right? So in Sthit Pragya section, there's a very well-known verse. Apuryamanam achala pratishtham. Samudra apa pravishanti. So there is an ocean and many rivers are flowing into the ocean. But the ocean remains steady. Rivers keep flowing, but ocean remains undisturbed. Right? Because too many rivers are flowing, it doesn't happen that ocean has swollen now, it has become, and it's crossing its boundary. No, and it is flooding the, cities on the shore, on the coast. No. Rivers keep flowing constantly throughout the year, but ocean remains as it is, calm. So in the same way, desires keep coming. Right? Desires keep coming. Prabhupada explains in Bhagavatam that even exalted personalities like Lord Shiva are also not free from desires. But they are not disturbed by desires. Right? They are not disturbed by desires. So Lord Krishna is saying that rivers will keep flowing, so desires will keep flowing. But like ocean is undisturbed, one should remain undisturbed by these desires. Now, general conception of people in this world is, if I satisfy the desire, just once this desire is fulfilled, then I'll be satisfied. Then I don't want anything. Then immediately next day, just this one desire is fulfilled, then I'll be satisfied. Then I don't want anything. So we have this understanding that fulfilling our desires will give us satisfaction. My desire got fulfilled, now I'm peaceful. Now you tell what has to be done. Right? But Lord Krishna says, no, this is wrong. This whole idea of being satisfied or peaceful is wrong. See, a person who is not disturbed by the incessant flow of desires, right? I'll skip the analogy. I'll just directly come to the point. A person who is not disturbed by the incessant flow of desires can alone achieve peace. can alone, and not the man who strives to satisfy such desires. So this common understanding, or the modern day understanding, Vedic times it was not that like that. Vedic times means varnashrama. So ashrama system is to train an individual how to control his desires, how to overcome his desires. Right? That was the training, ashrama training. But present days, you fulfill this desire and become happy. Why you have to wait for so long? So many things. Like people say, why you want to accumulate money and buy something? Take loan and fulfill your desire. Keep paying later, EMI. So for anything, if you want, just go get it, you'll be happy. Right? How long you'll remain dissatisfied? So here, straightway, Krishna says, a person who is not disturbed by the incessant flow of desires can alone achieve peace, and not the man who strives to satisfy the desires. So, fulfilling desires, what is the problem with fulfilling desires? The problem is, once you fulfill a desire, it is like fire. You put more fuel into it, it will again increase. Our mind gets trained to satisfy the desires. Like there's a small child. He goes to the market with his father. Okay, so he sees one toy. So while walking on the street, he sees one toy. He says, Papa, get me this toy. So father buys him the toy. The moment he desires, he demands, and father gives him, the idea in his mind, I demand it and I get it, becomes strong. Right? He goes further, he sees another toy. एक बैट बॉल देख लिया, पहले एक टेडी बियर देख लिया, बैट बॉल देख लिया, I want that bat ball. So father said, no, you took one toy, enough. Some other time, next time we visit, we'll get. No, I want. Please, I want. Okay. बच्चे को शांत कर दो. You're getting. Again, you are satisfied with desire. The idea in the mind becomes stronger that I become happy by satisfying, and I demand means it should be fulfilled. If I demand and it's not fulfilled, then I become disturbed. My heart is pained. Correct? Like a child, he goes further, then he sees a toy gun. He says, Papa, I want toy gun. No, you have two hands, you have two toys. Khatam. Enough for today. He'll throw both of them, lie down on the road, and start wailing loudly. I have seen that kind of, you would have also seen such child. सीधा कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता पब्लिक एरिया में कहाँ है मार्केट में वहीं फेंक दिया रोना बैठ कर रोने लगे हाथ पांव मारने लग गया लाइक दैट ओह माय चाइल्ड इज क्रिएटिंग सीन हियर एवरीबॉडी इज वाचिंग गेट हिम द टॉय क्विकली मेक हिम क्वाइट हाँ दिस थर्ड टाइम इज विक्ट्री understood third time he has become victorious that I demand I get this is the way of satisfaction and like that every time we satisfy a desire of mind becomes stronger. I demand, I get, and this is the way of satisfaction. If I don't get, I'll become disturbed. My heart will pain. Correct? So that's why Lord says. So in 5th chapter also, there is another, with respect to desire itself, 5th chapter Lord says. Before giving up this present body, 23rd verse, if one is able to tolerate the urges, correct? Before giving up this present body, if one is able to tolerate the urges of the material senses are demanding, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, everybody demanding something, some gratification. If one is able to tolerate the urges of the material senses and check the force of desire and anger, he is a yogi and is happy in this world. Right? So, repeatedly Lord Krishna is telling, secret of happiness is not in fulfilling desires, in checking the force of desire. Isn't it? So, the kind of, bringing up a common person has is, unless you study hard, unless you work hard and you earn a lot of money, right? Unless you get all these things, how will you be able to fulfill your desires? You'll always remain dissatisfied in your life. But Krishna is saying that is not the way of being satisfied in the life. That's not the way of being happy in the life. You see, yesterday I was talking to somebody. They are doing some project on Bhagavad Gita and some architect. They want to construct a crematorium. So they want to know the Vedic perspective or idea behind a crematorium. So in the course of discussion, this concept came of Vedic system of getting detached. Right? Vedic system of getting detached. The whole idea of Vedic system is even up to the point of death, that detachment has to come. Our whole upbringing is you fulfill your desires, you'll be happy. You fulfill your desires, you'll be happy. But how long? At one point of time, whatever we desire, see, when Lord Krishna says Dukkhalyam Ashashvatam, Dukkhalyam we always quote, we always understand, right? But Ashashvatam also has a significance. What is that? Even if you get what you have desired, this is Ashashvatam. It will leave you and go. It will leave you and go. Correct? Again, it will cause pain. Exactly this in the previous verse, 5.22, Lord says, an intelligent person does not take part in the sources of misery, which are due to contact with the material senses. Right? O son of Kunti, such pleasures have a beginning and an end. So somebody may say, later it will be miserable because Rajoguna ends in misery, no doubt. So later on it may be miserable. At least now I am happy. I got my desired thing, now I am happy. But Krishna says, it has a beginning, so it has an end also. It will not remain with you forever. Correct? So if you take pleasure in such sources, material sources of happiness, Krishna says they are sources of misery. So how they are miserable? In two ways. First, they bring karma. The result of Rajoguna is misery. Rajoguna ends in misery. Anything we do for sense gratification, it will cause misery to us. And 14th chapter says that. 3 modes. So Rajoguna results into misery. So if we are feeling miserable, that means we are in Rajoguna. If we are feeling dissatisfied, we are in Rajoguna. Right? Somewhere this short circuit has happened and we got into Rajoguna. That's why this dissatisfaction has come. Sattva means illuminating, enlightening, detachment, correct? Knowledge, peacefulness. These are characteristics of Sattva. So Rajoguna means dissatisfaction. So we have to go back and check why there is a dissatisfaction. Correct? We have to go back and check. Now, here Lord says, they have a beginning and an end. Even if I get, it is for the time being only. Right? It is for the time being only. So the wise man does not delight in them. So the wise man does not delight in them. So very clear instructions of Lord are there. To be happy in this world, one should not get disturbed by desires. One should check the force of desires. One should control the senses. Then in this Dukkhalyam Ashashvatam, will be happy. So as long as it is there, okay, we utilize it. When it's not there, it's not there. Anyhow, when it was there, it belonged to Krishna. When it was not there, it belonged to Krishna. Correct? This is what Lord says. That one who is free from this nirmamo nirahankara. In that Sthit Pragya section, 71st verse, it says nirmamo nirahankara. When we think it is mine, then we get dissatisfied. When we want to own it, possess it in a way that, it's called lording over. I am the Lord, I am the controller. It should be as per my desire, it should be as per my direction, it should be under my control, my wish. Then we get dissatisfied. So, what does Lord say about being satisfied? In 14th chapter, Lord says one interesting thing to Arjuna, and immediately Arjuna, it triggers a question in 3 questions in Arjuna's mind. So Lord says, when the embodied being is able to transcend these 3 modes, okay, desires are because of 3 modes, sattvic desire, rasic desire, tamasic desire, all 3 cause dissatisfaction. Only desire to serve Krishna is satisfying. So, Lord says, when the embodied being is able to transcend these 3 modes, he can become free from birth, death, old age and their distresses. And can enjoy nectar even in this life. So, being in this Dukkhalyam, we can enjoy nectar. So, when Arjuna hears this, in this Dukkhalyam, because very emphatically Krishna said this is Dukkhalyam Ashashvatam, and not only one place, other places also. So, in this Dukkhalyam, how we can enjoy nectar, the transcendental nectar? So he asks, Arjuna inquired, "Oh my dear Lord, what are the symptoms? By what symptoms is one known who is transcendental to those modes?" what is his behavior, and how does he transcend the modes of nature. So now, when Lord says, be free from material desires, then how to situate oneself in transcendence? So Lord explains in the further verses. The blessed Lord said, he who does not hate illumination, attachment and delusion. What are illumination, attachment and delusion? Sattvagun, Rajagun and Tamagun. Sattvagun causes illumination, Rajagun causes attachment, and Tamagun causes delusion. So he who does not hate illumination, attachment and delusion when they are present. So I feel the force of Sattvagun, Rajagun, Tamagun, but I am not disturbed. Right? Nor longs for them when they disappear. Right? I am missing that passion in me. I am missing that, that zeal, or I am missing that peacefulness in me. He is not disturbed when they are not there. Right? So when Sattvagun, Rajagun, Tamagun, they overpower, he is not disturbed. When they are not there, he is not disturbed. Like it is peaceful. Who is seated like one unconcerned, being situated beyond these material reactions of the modes of nature. So he is unconcerned by these modes. Not unconcerned with our service or sadhana. I am unconcerned. No, not that. The context is about three modes and their influence. Very clearly, beginning and end of that unconcerned is about three modes. Okay. So who is seated like an unconcerned, being situated beyond these material reactions of the modes of nature. Right? Then who remains firm. So this is explained in 5th chapter by Prabhupada in the purport, where Prabhupada says whether Sattvagun affects us, Rajogun affects us, or Tamogun affects us. Right? Living entity in the city of 9 gates. Sometimes Sattvic influence is there. We feel nice, peaceful, straight, healthy, happy. Sometimes Rajasic influence is there. We feel disturbed, agitated, we want to do or not fulfill desires. Sometimes Tamogun is there. Anger, frustration, or very lethargy, or whatever. Sattvagun, Rajagun, Tamogun, all three will cause their influences. But the living entity who is in knowledge, residing in the city of 9 gates, is fixed up in his service. He knows whether this is there, that is there, or whichever is there, I have to do service to Krishna. These modes will keep influencing, they'll keep tossing us up and down. But I have to do my service. So this is the way of satisfaction. This is the way of satisfaction. So one who remains firm, knowing that the three modes alone are active. Right? This is the influence of three modes. I have nothing to do with these three modes. So the cause of distress, dukkhalayam, is what? The influence of three modes, right? The modes are acting on this body, modes are acting on the mind. But repeatedly Lord says, soul is aloof from the three modes. When we assume that it is happening to me, we get disturbed. Like somebody is going in the car and his car meets with an accident and headlight breaks or something breaks in the car. Like nothing has happened. Just small accident, headlight broke. Nothing has happened to the driver or the owner of the car. But when he gets down from the car, he goes and says, headlight toot gaya. Correct? Car is not saying, headlight toot gaya. Who is saying? Driver is saying. What has happened to driver? Nothing has happened to driver. Whatever has happened to the car. But he identifies himself with the car. Right? This is that attachment caused by three modes. To the body, to the mind, and where we feel it is happening to me, then we get disturbed. Right? So when body demands, when senses demand some pleasure, we feel I need it. Actually, I don't need it. As a soul, we don't need it. Right? It's a need of the body. When mind demands some kind of happiness, I feel I need it. Actually, I don't need it. It's mind's need. But whether this happiness comes or not comes, my need is to serve Krishna, I should serve Krishna. This is what Lord Krishna is telling. Avyabhicharani bhakti. When one enters into avyabhicharani bhakti, then sagunan samti tetan brahmabhuvaya kalpate. Then he is able to free himself from the three modes. Right? So avyabhicharani bhakti means whether sattoguna is acting, rajoguna is acting, or tamoguna is acting, we remain fixed up in bhakti. So this is the way one can transcend the modes, one can transcend that shackle or barrier of desires. Our whole material existence is because of desires. Ichha dvesha samuthena dvanda mohena bharata. Dvanda mohena. Dvanda has come because of ichha and dvesh. Sattva has his own ichha. Sattvic people have their own ichhas, their own dvesh. Rasic people have their own kinds of ichha and own kinds of dvesh. Tamasic people have their own kinds of ichha and own kinds of dvesh. This is what is binding. But whether ichha is there, dvesh is there, we go forward. Then further, who regards alike pleasure and pain, and who looks on a clod, a stone, or a piece of gold with an equal eye, who is wise and holds praise and blame to be same. Okay. Praise and blame to be same. Right? Who is unchanged in honor and dishonor. So whether honor comes or dishonor comes or honor doesn't come also. I wanted some recognition, some name, fame, glory, nothing has come. I'm feeling very morose. So sometimes it happens. Announce nahi hua ya kuch bhi hua aisa. I didn't get enough likes for my post, enough views for my status, whatever. So that praise, that appreciation, that honor, or somebody says very nice, very nice. So it's not that we are hankering for honor or dishonor like that, but their absence also, that's called another hankering. So their absence also disturbs us. Kisne dishonor kiya? Nahi, but honor nahi mila, isliye pain hai. So that is also one kind of hankering or attachment. Who treats friend and foe alike, right? So when we read all these things, it looks like very high level, isn't it? But actually it's not. Actually it's not. If we see in 18th chapter, just to brief about it, 18th chapter, Lord Krishna says this is the beginning stage of yoga. Right? Realization of Brahman happens at this stage. Right? So this is very elementary stage. Even in 6th chapter, these things are exactly, these points are mentioned in 6th chapter. Like clod, stone, where is it? Clod, stone, piece of gold, honor, dishonor, friend, who treats friend and foe alike. All these are mentioned in 6th chapter. There Lord Krishna mentions this is the beginning of yoga. One who reaches this stage is eligible to go to the forest for actually meditating on the Lord. So meditation of Lord, as per the Dhyan Yoga system, meditation of Lord starts after one crosses this level. Correct? So it's not an advanced level for that matter. To go to forest, to get into college, you need to clear the 12th standard. This is 12th standard. After that, you go to college, practice engineering or whatever degree course, and you get the degree. Like that, you first clear this, then you go to forest, you meditate on Krishna, then you attain Krishna or Super Soul. Right? That is the procedure. So, but getting into this itself, in this zone of being equipoised, unaffected, desire, free from material desires, right? Unaffected by these urges or forces of desire, anger, and etc. Right? Itself is a big task. Right? For this, Lord teaches tolerate. Shaknoti iheva sodum prak sharir vimokshana. So one who is able to tolerate these urges. So when the child is taught to tolerate, right, he will tone down. He'll become quiet. Right? This is what Lord is saying in the 2nd chapter also. Desires will come, you don't fulfill. Slowly they will learn. Mind will learn. This is a training of mind. Mind has to be taught to be satisfied. Yad dacha labh santushto. This is a training of the mind. It's a training. Right? So training means there is systematic process, there is systematic approach to bring him from 0 level to higher level or lower level to higher level, to develop that skill, to develop that talent, to develop that temperament. So there's a training of mind to develop that temperament. That is to be satisfied, to tolerate the urges. Then one becomes fixed up in Krishna. So fixed up in Krishna, that is also explained in 6th chapter. Very interestingly progresses in the purport. 1 line purport it has got. Okay. How one remains steady. As a lamp in a windless place does not waver. So whose lamp will waver? Who is influenced by 3 modes. He'll always waver. Ichha dvesh, ichha dvesh, ichha dvesh. Sakle ashant. Because everybody has got ichha dvesh. So all are ashant. But who is shant, his lamp will not waver. His mind will not shake. As a lamp in a windless place does not waver, so the transcendentalist, whose mind is controlled, remains always steady in his meditation on the transcendent self. Transcend self. Self, S capital, means Supreme Lord. Purport, just one line purport. A truly Krishna conscious person, always absorbed in transcendence, in constant undisturbed meditation on his worshipable Lord, right, is as steady as a lamp in a windless place. So Prabhupada says on worshipable Lord. So when we focus on the deities whose shelter we have taken, right, Lord Krishna and Radharani, they have come as Radha Madhav to engage us in their service and to give us shelter, respite from this material world. So when we fix up our mind like this, then one can be situated in undisturbed state. And what is the result of that undisturbed state? Immediately Lord says, the stage of perfection is called trance. So it cannot be attained. People are thinking that satisfaction, that happiness, pinnacle of happiness, the highest happiness, my achievement, my ultimate goal of life, right? That cannot be achieved by fulfilling material desires. That can be achieved by fixing mind on the worshipable Lord. Right? So, what is the result? The stage of perfection is called trance or samadhi, when one's mind is completely restrained from material mental activities by practice of yoga. It is characterized by one's ability to see the self by the pure mind and to relish and rejoice in the self. Relish and rejoice in the self. In that joyous state, so this is a checklist for us. Every day we should check like this. In that joyous state, one is situated in boundless transcendental happiness. Am I feeling boundless transcendental happiness? Yes or no? That is a checklist. Enjoys himself through transcendental senses. Established thus, one never departs from truth. Yes, I am fixed up in this. So one will never think, why am I here? What am I doing here? Should I be here or not? Sometimes such thought comes. Very disturbed situation, troublesome situation. Everyone would, at some stage, everyone would have got this thought. We are still here today means we overcame that. But even personally, I also felt some long back. मैं join तो कर लिया है, अब आगे क्या करना है, like that. But everybody goes through that. Some disturbance in service and health, in sadhana, somewhere everybody goes through some kind of turmoil. But now Lord is saying. So mind is saying we should seek some other solution, some other escape, some other provision. Krishna is saying no, that is a trap. Solution of happiness, peacefulness is only by fixing mind on Krishna. By nirman moha, jit sanga dosha, nirmamo nirahankara, all these things, when we come to this, we'll be satisfied. Now further, another checkbox in the checklist. Upon gaining this, he thinks there is no greater gain. Right? So, yes, today also I'm here, I'm fixed up in my devotional service, I'm able to do my service with peace, with focus, with attention. I'm able to offer my mind and actions, speech to Krishna. There is no greater gain than this for me. If this is a conviction, one will stay in devotional service. Next, another checkbox. Being situated in such a position, one is never shaken even in the midst of greatest difficulty. However difficulty comes, right? Physical difficulty, mental difficulty, emotional difficulty, intellectual difficulty is not shaken. Actually for us, there is nothing to worry. Right? There is actually nothing to worry. We are in shelter of Radha Madhav, we are under shelter of Prabhupada. What is there to worry? Right? Whatever is happening, it's happening by their sanction. First thing. Second thing, whatever is happening, they are in control. Right? Krishna is in control. In outside world, somebody who's not in Krishna consciousness or outside world, he is under control of Maya. Here we are under control of Krishna. Right? Our situation may be up and down, however it may be, but we are under control of Krishna. So Krishna is in full charge of my situation. Prabhupada is in full charge of my situation. So what is there to be disturbed? These are ups and downs because of my karma, because of my disorientation of mind or whatever, or situation. whatever it is. These ups and downs are temporary. They're just experiences. They're situational. But actually, the journey of my soul is in the hands of Prabhupada and Krishna. This journey is going. As long as I'm here, I'm moving towards Goloka. Bas, this should be satisfaction. Isn't it? So, being situated in such a position, one is never shaken. कुछ भी करेंगे, कैसे भी, ये boat, Prabhupada said, this ship, don't jump out of the ship. If people are not like up to your liking or situation not up to your liking, we don't jump out of the ship. This should be our satisfaction. Other difficulties are situational, they'll come and go. Even if they don't come, how long they'll be there? Ashashvatam, Krishna says, no. So happiness is temporary, misery is also temporary. Right? But my journey, the soul's journey to Goloka is in Krishna's hand, Prabhupada's hand. Then, even in the midst of greatest difficulty, this indeed is actual freedom from all miseries arising from material contact. Right? This is the way of satisfaction that Lord is telling. Right? So the whole idea of being satisfied, whole idea of being peaceful, Lord is totally turning 180 degrees reverse. Your idea of being satisfied or happy in this world is wrong. The whole, substance of being happy is this. Right? So we'll stop here. Grantha Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to never miss any updates.